All right, guys, welcome back to Home on the Hedge. Glad to have you here. Cold weather RVing is one thing. Wintertime, single digit RV living, full time is another. So stick around with us. We're going to talk about all the things that you've got to consider with your furnace, with your water, propane, all that stuff to stay warm and keep everything functioning in your RV down in the single digits. Lord, I hope we don't freeze. Cold weather RV living is a different animal, and you've really got to pay attention to what's going on, what the temperature is going to be, so you can get ready. So what we're going to do is right now I'm going to rewind a couple of days till before all this beautiful snow fell, and we're going to look at some of the stuff we did to get ready for it. We'll cut back in and talk about what we did that didn't work and what we didn't do that we should have done. All right, outside propane tanks. Propane is a big one. Propane is what we use to run our furnaces, to run our water heater, to cook inside the RV. So we're gonna need a lot of it, and the RV furnaces, the colder it gets, the more they need to run to keep everything warm, and the less efficient really they get. Well, when I got our propane tanks filled today, our two 30-pound tanks, ended up finding two more that they had there. Purchased two more 30-pound tanks, as well as we already had two 20-pound tanks full here in reserve, and that hopefully is going to be enough to get us through this winter storm and cold weather. All right, so one issue that we have with propane tanks, and if you watch the channel, we've talked about it before, is keeping a little heat on those tanks. When the temperature outside becomes very low, the propane does not make a whole lot of pressure inside the tanks, and the gas flow to your appliances is going to be decreased. So all it takes is just a little bit of heat. Like they sell wraps and little tank parkas. They tend to be quite expensive, so I've got a couple of things we're going to do to see if we can help them along. All right, so by no means am I telling you this is what you should do, but I've seen some people do it before, and we've done it before. Had pretty good luck with it. So what I've got here is basically just got a couple of 6-foot heat tapes, and we're going to wrap just a few wraps around the bottom of these tanks. With that enclosed in the propane tank cover with a blanket kind of stuffed on top, that will keep a little bit of heat around where the propane sits inside the tank. So moving around to the connection side of the RV, you're going to be talking about your sewer hose and your water hose. Now, for your water hose, there are a lot of options out there for a heated hose. Commercial options, as well as a lot of DIY options like we did. If you haven't seen our video on the hose that we made, which is this hose right here, I will link that up there in the top of the video, and you can watch that. It's been a pretty good option for us and worked well. Don't know how it's going to perform down to 2 degrees, but we're going to see. Should be just fine. As far as your sewer hose goes, there's several options for those. You can buy heated sleeves for your sewer hose, or you could wrap those with a heat tape. We've done that before, and that seemed to work well. So let me butt in here real quick. Something that we probably should have thought about doing that we didn't do was skirting the RV. Really, then the reason that we didn't do it is it doesn't get this cold here that often. It did get down to -1 last night, and we did actually, all of our water, all of our hot, cold water, sinks, toilet, shower, everything froze up about 3 a.m. when the temperature approached 0. We've never been that cold before. Before now, the coldest we've ever gotten in the RV is down to like middle teens, maybe 12. We're able to get it thawed out today, so all is well. But I think if we had skirted the RV, we would have been able to keep the temperature underneath at a warmer temperature, and that would have kept the pipes from freezing like they did. If you're going to be somewhere that's going to be really cold for a long time, you might want to look into skirting options for your RV. So there's a lot more to talk about. Let's step inside and talk about the way we operate everything inside. Some of the things we've done to keep the interior nice and toasty when it's freezing outside. All right, so the inside of your RV is a completely different story when it comes to talking about living in frigid temperatures, cold temperatures, but there's a lot of tips and tricks that you can do to get by with it and to stay very comfortable and keep everything working just like it should. We're going to talk about condensation. You may, if you've been in cool weather in your RV, seen condensation on the windows of your RV. So where this comes from is anytime you use propane, burning propane creates condensation. So you use our RV furnace, you're cooking on the stove, you're making condensation. Breathing, hot showers, the steam from cooking, all that moisture has to go somewhere. So what we do is we use a residential full-size dehumidifier. We've been using that for about 1.5 to 2 years now. Although it is the most expensive solution we've come up with, it is by far the best. This thing we run all the time on about medium. We empty it twice a day, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cups of water at a time. It really pulls the water out of the air better than anything that you're going to find out there. Second to that, you can use smaller models, smaller dehumidifiers. They're just not going to be as efficient, and they're not going to pull out as much water as these big units do. Past that, you're going to have damp red, which everybody knows about. The buckets, the packets, they're going to be a far third for what kind of water they're going to collect. But at least it's something to kind of pull some of the moisture out of the air. Whatever you do, try to find a solution that works for you. Pulling the moisture out of the air inside your RV will help your RV to feel like it's warmer on the inside. So let's circle back to the windows. The windows in an RV are a major source of heat loss, especially when it's very, very cold outside. Most RVs do not come equipped with double pane windows, which are the best option you can have in cold weather and hot weather. So most people will try to use like Reflectex or something like that on the windows during the wintertime, and we do use that during the summertime to help keep some of the heat out. In the wintertime, the best option we have found is a clear window film. You put it on with adhesive around the window, trim it to fit, heat it up with a hairdryer, kind of acts like heat shrink, gets real nice and tight, and basically creates a double pane window. We did it last winter, we've done it this winter, and the difference is huge. Very, very noticeable. Unlike Reflectex, the window film is clear, so it still lets the light in and out, so you can still use your windows. You can still see in and out of your windows, have light during the day. Plus, you have the benefits of having that double pane window. So we'll need to talk about our propane furnace in the RV, when we use it, when we don't use it. Basically, what we do is if the temperature is not going to fall below 30 degrees, we primarily will use, we have an electric fireplace that's in the living room, and we have a small space heater that we keep either in the bathroom or in the bedroom. If the temperature is going to be not below 30 degrees, then we will keep those pretty much running, set on like 72, 73, and they will keep the RV nice and warm. We will set the propane furnace at a more milder temperature, and we can stay very comfortable like that. Now, if the temperature is going to drop down into the 20s, we do cut down and tone down on the electric heat, and we will turn the RV propane furnace on to about 72 or 73. We need that to burn and to run. If you have a heated underbelly in your RV, it's not heated unless that furnace is running. So when that temperature drops down below freezing into the 20s and the teens, and like it is right now, it's 12 degrees outside, you need that furnace running to keep those pipes open and flowing. The biggest thing is to find some type of balance between electric heat and propane heat that works for you and your RV, because each RV with a heated underbelly is going to be different, but this is what works for us. So find that balancing act in your RV, and that will keep you comfortable. Use minimal propane when you don't have to use it. So the last thing that we're really going to talk about in the inside of the RV is drafts. If you have slide outs in your RV, or you have storage under your bed area in your RV, those are all going to be potential areas for a lot of drafts. And moving air from inside to outside is going to be a big source of heat loss for you in your RV. So what we've done is sometimes we have cable slides in our RV. So if you know about the cable slides, the top has to bow out for where the motor and the cables are at. So a lot of times we'll put blankets up there to try, if we're going to be somewhere for a long time, to try to seal that up so there's no air moving in and out. So we have a king size bed with a big storage area outside underneath it. That area is notorious for RVs with beds over their storage that slide in and out. Number one, we're in a slide out. Number two, it's got storage underneath it. Notorious for having drafts. But we have a very nice, very thick residential mattress, and keeping that pushed all the way up against where it goes in the slide out keeps those drafts down, and we don't have any problems with that. Plus we use heavy blankets, fleece blankets, comforters. We don't have any problem staying warm at night, even when the temperature got down to -2 the other night. We were nice and toasty warm. So I think that's going to finish it up for the tips and tricks that we have in this video. Hopefully something in this video will help you. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like, leave us a comment. We really like to have comments from you guys. If there's anything that we left out of this video, anything that you can think of that everyone might need to know about, make sure you leave it in the comment below so we can all learn from each other in this community. Like I said, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Until we see you next time on the road or in the video, take care of each other, love each other, make every moment count.